right in front of us. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Thank you, Eric. Ms. Muscatello, roll call.
Ms. Grazia?
Here.
Mr. Scholes? Mr. Smolik?
Here.
Ms. Simons?
Here.
Mr. Ziegler?
Here.
Mr. Fenstermaker?
Here.
Mr. Hamer?
Okay, on to, well, actually, we're going to allow Chief McAllister to swear in a new officer today. Yes, suspend the rules of council. Entertain a motion to suspend the rules of council.
So moved. Second. Oh,
That was
moved.
Mr. Fenstermaker and a second by Ms. Grazia. Chief McAllister?
No.
Oh, sorry.
Is there a discussion or a vote?
Oh, any discussion? Sorry about that. Any discussion? Not at this time.
Is there a vote? All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
You can go.
Have you met the new officer? Have you met the new officer? No. Right. I need to get my belly right.
All right, well, I want to thank everybody for being here. We are proud to bring a new officer onto the department tonight. Ms. Lauren Sito is coming to us from the Eastlake Police Department. She's been a police officer since 2020 and also has an associate's from Lakeland Community College, and she also finished her basic police academy there. She comes to us with field training officer experience, a lot of certifications, multiple commendations and awards from Eastlake. Last year, she was named the Police Department's Officer of the Year. We are very happy to bring her aboard, and she's married to her husband, Donald, which is here with her tonight. And Lauren, if you want to come up.
I'm good. How are you?
Thanks. You can hold it for me. So we're going to do the oath of office for the City of Kirtland Police Department. Please repeat after me. I, Lauren V. Sito, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio, the Charter,
the ordinances and resolutions
the ordinances and resolutions
of the City of Kirtland,
of the City of Kirtland,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
discharge my duties
as police officer
as a police officer
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Don't take any crap from Zach.
Thank you. Just the base. Just walk over here, it's fine. Base probably slips off there.
Make it a great story. Yeah, exactly. October.
Is it this month?
October.
What October is? Okay.
Welcome. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's better, there you go. See, they're talking Joe lingo.
Boy, Julie, I'm just blushing over here.
Speaking Joe language.
Yeah.
Mayor. Good, resume the meeting, Mayor?
Did the Indians man? Was,
That brings us to the reading and approval.
oh, she always got it.
Reading and approvals of the minutes September 16th, 2024 work session. For motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion, any changes on the minutes? Mr. Capella?
Ms. Grazia?
Yes.
Mr. Smolik?
Yes.
Ms. Simons?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker?
Yes.
Minutes of the September 16th, 2024 council meeting. Looking for motion.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion, changes? Mr. Capella?
Ms. Grazia?
Yes.
Mr. Smolik?
Yes.
Ms. Simons?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker?
Yes.
On the department report. We love them.
Thank you, Mr. Smolik. The monthly report has been sent out. Still on pace for our busiest year ever, looking at upward of 1,500 calls, which is quite a bit for us. Legislation 24R74 is the cardiac monitors from the AFG grant. Those are the LifePak 35s. High-tech equipment, something that will probably be the first department in Lake County that will have those. So it's a very good thing for us. I would ask that council pass it tonight so we could get it ordered, if you would be inclined. Other than that, I'm open for any questions.
They have that equipment in stock, so to speak, so
If we get it ordered pretty quick, we won't be too far backed up in it, so we should be able to get it within about 2 months.
thanks, Chief. Any other questions for Chief Hutton?
Question for my own education that may sound silly, but when we get something like that, that's new technology, do we ever loan that out to other departments, or is that something that, because we never know when we're going to need it, we keep on hand? How does that work?
The LifePak 35 monitors are cardiac monitors that we keep on our frontline ambulances. I'm sure other departments will want to come take a look at it, but we don't necessarily loan those out.
Look,
No,
but don't touch.
that's our frontline. It does everything from cardiac monitoring to blood pressure, carbon monoxide detector, tracks our drugs that we give. It pretty much, this unit does everything, you know, blood pressure, 12 lead EKG, you can pace, you can shock, you can do, you name it, you can do it. The guys were even joking that, Chief, I think this thing is so good that we'll be able to spin it around and say, oh, the monitor's going to ask you a couple questions. Could you please sign here? So anyway, we're pretty excited about getting these.
lifespan on something like that? Is there a lot of software updates, so to speak, on an annual basis, or, mainly does it,
As far as lifespan, you're probably going to see 15 years out of this. It's built to be upgraded. When we met with Stryker, there's a lot of components that they'll be able to add to it. So there's a lot of space and memory, or however you want to word it. It's able to accept. As they change, they'll be able to upgrade the units for a while.
okay. Thank you, Chief. Any other questions?
And this was something that was in the budget this year, correct?
This was a grant that we received, AFG, Assistance to Firefighter Grant. Council accepted that a few meetings ago, so the money is actually allocated, and as soon as we're ready, we'll request the funds, and they'll be deposited into the city's account, and then we'll be able to pay for it.
Awesome.
There's a small portion, 5%, that we would have to pay.
And not only did council accept the grant, we also amended the appropriations at that time as well, so that it was budgeted for.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief Hutton? Sure, go right ahead, Sterling. Oh, sorry. Wait. Okay.
You can, just not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Actually, after.
Sterling, we'll
Sorry,
let you ask a question in a minute.
Yeah, they'll have.
Just, it's on the agenda, there's certain spots where
Yeah, they'll be-
are allowed to speak.
Once.
I'll defer to
We
our
just have to
council.
wait for public comments in order to let you speak, because it has to be in the public comment section of the meeting.
Sorry, Robert's
we will.
rules.
Awesome.
We'll be public comments in a second, Sterling, okay? Okay.
Sorry.
I know you got pretty good aptitude. Your son's been involved with that kind of stuff, so I'm sure it's related to that. Any other questions for Chief Hutton? Okay, on to Mr. Fernaro.
Good evening, everyone. As always, I'd like to start off with thanking our team on a great job they've done the past couple weeks. We had the opportunity to send 6 of our team members to snow and ice training. Also, is a big training a couple weeks for us. We also sent our crew leaders. Ponelise is in his 2nd year of supervisor training. It's a 3-year program. David Arnold started his 1st year. So exciting training going on in Public Works. Now to the roads. The 101G contract repairs have been completed in Region C and on Riverswood Way. The 306 bridge, the beams are installed. It's moving along as planned. And I don't think I'm going to take any more of Doug's report, so I'll be open for any questions.
Thanks, Joe. We don't have any snow in the forecast, I hope, do we?
So good point. So we're working on snow and ice trucks. 4 of them are currently put together just in case, with the hope that the rest of them will be put together by the end of the week. I do have a snow and ice plan that needs to get approved by council like we do every year. That'll be coming up here shortly. We're still kind of tweaking things. And I'd like to thank all the residents that showed up and council to our Public Utilities Commission. It was a good discussion. Looking forward to more down the road.
Thank you, Mr. Fernaro. Appreciate the Utilities Committee meeting. You did an excellent job kind of describing and going through everything that needs to be done on those various packaging plants. And the mayor looked like I just jinxed them, and it's going to cost them a little extra money for salt if it snows this week. So, any questions for Mr. Fernaro?
One more. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Shred Day this Saturday at the community center, 8:30 to 11.
Correct, yeah, because we moved coffee with council the following week, so Shred Day, okay. Take advantage of that, very good service.
That's the community center?
Yeah. Usually have the big truck over to the, I know that's pertaining to one of the last week's legislation. They going to be in this week to do the parking lot?
The community center parking lot will start this week, the 9th through the 11th, so it should be wrapped up for Shred Day.
So you think you'll be able to do the shredding there? It won't get in the way? Okay. Okay, any questions for Mr. Fernaro? Thank you, Joe. Mr. Courtney.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The road program, the repair work on Shaw, Thorne, Parkwood, Beechwood, Crestwood, and Elmwood is complete. Intermediate asphalt has been installed. Pavement recycling on Monterey, Woodhill, Forestdale, and Westwood is complete. That's now in the cure period. Once that comes out of the cure period, we'll be able to proof roll them and mark any repairs there. Joe mentioned the 101G pavement repairs. Regency and Riverwood are done. We've also marked Woodsway, White Oak, Garfield, Tibbetts, Bridlehurst, Euclid Shard, and Chillicothe. So all those will get a little attention this year. Old Town Sewers, the work is completed. Pavement restoration is done. The lawn restoration is scheduled to be finished by the end of this week. And the county is currently negotiating the final change order with the contractor. Joe mentioned the 306 bridge. Got a sort of update from the county on the Booth Road Bridge. They said it's moving along slowly. No completion date as of yet has been determined, and apparently what's slowing them down is the water main issue they have.
On Booth?
Which one?
Oh,
There's a water main
the
issue
beams on the
Booth
bridge
Road
are in.
Bridge?
Pardon?
There's a water main issue on the Booth Road Bridge?
Yeah, it was when we had the pre-con, Aqua Ohio was there and said our water main's pretty close to where they wanted to drive guardrail posts, right? So it's a transite main, so it can't be traced. So they had to dig it up to find out exactly where it was. So apparently it's a little further away than they thought, but it's still a little bit of an issue because those mains are generally fairly brittle. And if you start driving guardrail posts next to them, you risk breaking them. So the water main, not the post.
So they'll be replacing that through that portion or strengthening it up or a different type of pipe? Or
Not sure yet. I think they're trying to tweak the plan to get away from the water main.
In the 306 bridge this month
306 bridge this month.
will be
Joe?
Oh, finished date.
finished it.
Yeah, we're waiting on the next progress meeting, which will be the beginning of next month.
So just for argument's sake, it was 200 days, right? When did that project start? March? Okay.
Did you do the head math?
Just under 7.
And,
Thanks.
did that conclude your report, Mr. Courtney?
That's good.
Yes, it did. I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, just want to make sure we're finished up there. So the steel beams, that was kind of the holdup, so they finally got that in. That was kind of the issue over there, was getting the steel beams in for it, and they got that. They've put them in place, correct? Okay. Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Courtney? Thank you, Doug. Actually, hold on. A couple questions pertaining to roads. Was Monterey Glenstone got the recycle in place?
Monterey what?
Monterey and Glenstone, was it, or which?
Yeah, he said pavement recycling on.
Yeah, okay. So that curing period, that's kind of dependent on
It's about 10 days.
how warm it is, cold type of thing. It's
Yeah,
got to cure.
temperature does impact it, but
So
it
you're
was,
expecting them out there a week or two possibly, or a couple weeks?
yeah, I would expect a couple of weeks.
Okay, they look very good. I was down, haven't been down Glenstone, was down Monterey and
Westwood, correct, Joe?
Crestwood stuff too. That was
Yeah,
nice.
Monterey, it was recycled streets are Monterey, Woodhill, Forestdale,
okay.
Westwood.
Okay, Woodhill and Westwood, okay. Okay. Thank you, Doug. Mr. Slepbecker.
Thank you, Council President Smolik. 3 quick items here. The audit is still ongoing and looking to wrap that up. We began working on the 2025 senior levy application with the county. So that's due this week, so we'll get that wrapped up. And then I know at the last meeting, in regards to the legislation, I know there was discussion on the vacation ordinance about comparable cities for offering vacation time for part-time individuals. So I did want to provide a list here to council of some surrounding communities that do provide vacation time to part-time or individuals that work under 40 hours. We have Willoughby Hills, Chardon, which is actually 25 hours per week, Menor, 35 hours per week, and then Painesville, Pepper Pike, Highland Heights, Lyndhurst, Shaker Heights, Woodmere, Macedonia, Cuyahoga Heights, Bedford Heights. Okay.
You actually think I can type that fast?
It's in an email on September 19th, so if you check back,
that was the key right there.
Yep, September 19th, I emailed City Council. Yep.
Okay.
So that concludes my report. I'm available for any questions, especially on any part of the legislation. I know there were some emails that were sent out this afternoon. I know 2 of them specifically in regards to the sick time, and then the one from September 19th that I just referenced. So I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Slepnick. Any questions for Lewis? Thank you, Lewis. Mr. Lallo.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I don't have too much to report on. I know in the last month we did convene the Records Commission, and we have an approved schedule. So I have everything finalized. I need some signatures from various persons within each department and the mayor. And then we will send it off to the Ohio Historical Society for their approval. And then once, if and when that's approved, then we can actually start going through our old records, start cleaning things up, and just making sure we're on a consistent schedule at that point. Aside from that, I don't feel that I have anything further to offer unless you have questions for me.
Thank you, Mr. Lallo. Any questions for Mr. Lallo? Thank you, sir. Oh, go right ahead.
Yeah, turn the mic on.
Do we have any update on any of the legal proceedings regarding the fence and Richard's Maple? And I know we filed.
I could look it up right now. I think their arraignment was either last week or this week. I don't know if anyone appeared. I don't show up for arraignments, like I'm at the courthouse, but I'm not in the courtroom for all those proceedings.
Okay.
As it relates to that, here it's coming up right now. So they didn't show up for the arraignment on the 3rd. The entity received an arraignment summons now, which requires their presence on October 23rd at 8:15. So, yeah, they didn't show up to file a notice or a plea or anything like that.
What was that date, the summons issue?
October 23rd.
October 23rd.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so now I have to follow up on her question with that. So there's a sign in front of the property now for the property owner that facility's up for sale.
Okay.
Is that changing any of this, and can that have any impact on any of this? I would assume.
Legally, it doesn't change the fact that there's a violation.
Okay.
So if we need to go forward, we can go forward and still get a conviction if that's what you're asking. Sometimes there's agreements where if you agree to vacate the property by X date, we can dismiss this at your costs, or things like that. It's very flexible as it relates to how you want to resolve it, but it doesn't necessarily have a bearing on whether the case is still viable or whether there's still a case.
So I guess Mayor and for Econ, the economic development side, or planning and zoning side, I should say, with that property being sold, have we heard any communication or backfeed of what the status is going to be for Maple in that facility with the property being sold? Like,
Do we know that it was sold and not up for sale?
it's up for sale. I'm sorry.
That's all.
Let me rephrase that. It's up for sale. Is the intentions for Maple to wait to see who buys the facility, or is Maple planning on moving, knowing that now the facility is being sold?
I don't know, and I guess it's not impossible that the building could be sold and Maple would remain a tenant either.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That happens every day. I
haven't-
was just curious if we heard anything.
Today was the first day I heard it was for sale.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Lallo? Thank you, Matt. Ms. Zeri, any updates on the Senior Community Center?
Good evening, Council. I have no formal updates. Just a reminder that Mr. Fenaro will be doing a snow and ice presentation at 11 o'clock on October 28th at the center. So I know that's something that a lot of people have a lot of questions about, and there's no one better to answer them than Mr. Fenaro. So the public is welcome to that event. I'm open to any questions.
Teresa, can you remind everybody about trunk or treat at the senior center so that we can, and are we going to put some social media out there?
Yeah, I was on the monthly events that are out. Once we have the finalized locations, that will be out this week as well. Trunk or treat will be on Wednesday, the 23rd of October. It will be, I think, at 6 or 7 different locations around the city, including the community center and here at City Hall. So if anyone's interested in setting up or helping out, just let us know. Residents are also welcome to come bring their cars and come support our young residents. And that's from 6:30 to 8:30. It said 6:30 to 8. That has been changed to 8:30.
6:30 to 8:30?
Sorry, put the time in there. Any other questions for Ms. Zeri? Thank you. The chief?
Just keep
What's that, chief? Am I missing something here?
He was out.
Oh, thank you for reminding me that, correct. Chief McAllister.
Well, I don't have a formal report tonight, but I did want to offer, if anybody from council wants to come out and take a look at the camera systems in the car, I'd be more than happy to give you a demonstration and kind of show you what they're capable of.
So they're up and running. Okay. Any questions for Chief McAllister? Chief, I'm not sure if I'm going to need to go out. I'm sure I'll be on that camera eventually.
Yeah, me too.
Just stay outside of, what's the, Tavern 6?
Any questions for Chief McAllister? Thank you, Chief.
Chief, I'm certainly going to take you up on that to see it. So thank you for that offer. I'll reach out to you and set something up. Thank you.
Thank you. So that is in, how many cameras is that, Chief, again, if you could go over? That's 7 cars, 7 cameras, or 8?
Six cars, so 6 in-car cameras and 8 new body cameras.
And 8 new body cameras also? Oh, okay. Have body cameras been updated, or is it still the, what's the name on those cameras? The body cameras, what are those called again?
Everything is Motorola now. We were with Axon prior to that.
Oh, okay.
But this whole system is integrated, so everything works together.
Oh, so complete change in body cams then too. Okay. Okay, thank you, Chief. Any other question for Chief McAllister?
Any feedback from the officers so far since you've implemented them?
I can tell you they've been beneficial. We recently had a case. It's still pending, but we were able to get some good evidence from some of the video we obtained from some of the monitoring of the cameras. So they've already been very helpful.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chief? Thank you, Chief. Mayor Potter.
Thank you, Council President Smolik. I promise I'll be quick and then open for questions. Thanks to all the department heads that, so my wife and I had a chance to go on a nice vacation here recently. And I just can't tell you how nice it is to be able to be out of town, in this case, actually overseas, and have the confidence in that if something were to happen, first of all, Mr. Smolik would step right up. No, you would.
Yeah.
But also that, to have everybody here around us that does their job so well, it's a very good feeling to be able to be out of town like that and be so far away and know that the city's in such good hands. So thanks to everybody that makes that possible. Public Utilities Commission, I know that Mr. Fenaro brought that up, that we had a good meeting, great discussion. We had a really good turnout. And I think we talked about setting a meeting for November. Is that correct? And I know Mr. Hamer is not here tonight, but perhaps we could at least get something on the books again. The residents and I think Mr. Smolik, you being the chair of that commission, you can set that date. And I know the resident said the Saturday morning at 10 o'clock does work.
Which Saturday morning? Or Saturday, 10 o'clock?
A Saturday in maybe the later part of November.
I guess the big question would be for Mr. Fernaro. He needs to put together some more detailed information, correct?
Yeah.
So I don't want to push you on it, whatever works, give me a good time frame.
I
that
thought
would
we
work
talked
for-
about being 2 months out, so maybe middle of December.
Okay. Well, let's bring it up at next meeting when Scott is here, and we'll try getting something scheduled for middle of December then, for Mr. Fernaro's request then.
Okay. Thank you for that. And then I know the bridge is a big topic of conversation and concern. So anything we hear in terms of, improved dates or any zeroed in date at all, we will get a message out there via social media. And thanks to the council people for hanging in there, because I'm sure you're getting all of the same bombardments I'm getting. And frankly, I don't blame the residents. It's an inconvenience that's lasting a little bit longer than we'd hoped. But we will definitely get any updates as we get information. So thanks for hanging in there on that. Other than that, I'm just open. But on to the ordinances real quick. We had talked about 24-064, 065, and 066. Really hope that we can get those passed tonight. We had a good discussion during our work session. We had a good discussion at our last meeting. I'm, again, just hopeful that council can pass those tonight. And then closing out the contract with Specialized from last year's paving projects, and then the cardiac monitors as well. Council's already budgeted for all of those things related to the last two resolutions. So again, open for questions, but hoping that we can move those things along tonight and get them passed.
Thank you, Mayor. Any questions for Mayor Potter? Thank you, Mayor. Okay. Bear with me for a second here. Okay. Standing committee reports. I don't believe we have any current standing committee reports other than Mayor Potter brought up about the Utilities Commission meeting. We'll try to schedule the next meeting for middle of September or December. Special committee reports, just pertaining to what we discussed on the utility committee meeting from last Saturday. Was that 2 Saturdays or the last Saturday? I think what date that was. Okay. Any correspondence, Ms. Muscatello? I didn't see any. Is there any correspondence? Thank you. Now on to public comments on matters not on the agenda. Sterling. Yeah. I wanted to let you roll with it.
And access that information. Are you aware of that? And are we equipped to do that sort of thing?
We are not. No, I am not aware of any way that we can unlock a phone. So if that technology exists, we have not got it yet.
You might want to check into it, because they're advertising it as quite a feature on today's phones. And I thought, that's cool. Maybe that helps you guys. If you keep your medical history on your phone, that can be real useful.
Thank you.
Sir, just so you know, I think according to Apple, if that's an Apple product, I think what you do is you actually make it part of your home screen under your medical ID, and then they might be able to access it from the lock screen. So they're not actually unlocking your phone. It's accessible on your lock screen. Yeah.
That means the chief has an Apple.
Sharon Viscasil, 8415 North Locust.
Jim and I are two of the volunteers for the Kirtland Senior Center Volunteer Group. I want to let the council and anybody watching that we are supporting the Sub-Zero charity on October 28th from 10 to noon. Sub-Zero, if you don't know, is an organization that clothes the homeless veterans. And it's sad to use those two words in the same sentence, but unfortunately, we do have homeless veterans in Lake County. So Sub-Zero is going to have a Stuff the Bus event at the Senior Center, and it would be great to have the community support this charity. They're accepting new coats or used, coats, hats, gloves, and boots. Only the socks they are asking to be new socks. And if you cannot make it on the 28th, there is a collection box at the Senior Center. I distributed a couple of the flyers that I have around town. When I was at Honey's, one of the gentlemen there heard my request to put up a flyer, and he asked for a copy so that he could show it to all of his friends. He said because he was a veteran and he had never heard of Sub-Zero, and he wants to make sure that he spreads the word to support this. I have a couple more flyers with me if anybody would like one, and I'm open for questions.
What was the time again? October 28th, what was the time again?
10 to noon.
10 to noon, okay.
Are they only taking donations for adults, or do they also take for veterans' families, or like how?
As far as I know, adults.
Adults only. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Or the one.
Okay. Thanks. Sub-Zero's outstanding organization. I've done like 4 or 5 scrambles that they've done, charity event things the last 4 or 5 years. Outstanding organization. Thank you for helping out with that. Any other public comment? That matter's not on the agenda. Okay, we're on to old business now. Public comments on agenda items of old business. Any public comments on old business? Not at this time. Okay, on to ordinance number 24-0-64, third reading. An ordinance amending section 254.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Kirtland relating to holidays and declaring an emergency. Okay, this is third reading. Okay, looking for a
Motion to adopt.
Second.
That was Eric and Sue. Any discussion?
Motion to adopt and declare an emergency.
Declare an emergency
Yeah,
and
you
adopt.
declared an emergency.
Is
Thank
that
you.
what it is?
Can I declare the emergency first?
It would be a motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
Can I adopt first while
No.
declaring emergency?
Is that what the motion is?
So moved.
And then Ms. Grazia?
Second that.
Okay.
Thank you. Any discussion on ordinance number 24-064?
Get a speech to your assistant.
Any discussion at all?
Whoever has one.
Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia?
Yes.
Mr. Smolik?
Yes.
Ms. Simons?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker?
Yes.
Thank you. On to ordinance number 24-0-65, third reading. An ordinance amending section 254.03 of the codified ordinances of the city of Kirtland relating to vacation pay, and declaring an emergency. Looking for a motion to declare an emergency and to adopt.
Motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
Second.
Eric and Sue, thank you. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia?
Yes.
Mr. Smolik?
Yes.
Ms. Simons?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker?
Yes.
Okay, on to ordinance number 24-0-66, third reading. An ordinance amending sections 254.06 of the codified ordinances of the city of Kirtland relating to the sick leave and declaring an emergency. Looking for a motion to declare an emergency and to adopt.
Motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
I second that.
Mr. Fenstermaker and Sue. Thank you. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia?
Yes.
Mr. Smolik?
Yes.
Ms. Simons?
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler?
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker?
Yes.
Thank you. On to new business. Any public comments on agenda items of new business? Not at this time. Okay, on to 24-R-73, a resolution authorizing the closeout of the contract with Specialized Construction Incorporated for its work on sections 1, 1A, and 5A of 2023 pavement rehabilitation project and declaring an emergency. I believe we wanted these waived.
Motion to waive the 3 reading.
Thank you.
I second that.
Motion waived by Mr. Ziegler, second by Ms. Grazia. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
Ms. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
And now we're looking for a motion to declare an emergency and to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ziegler and Sue. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Thank you. On to 24-R-74, a resolution authorizing the chief of fire to purchase, chief of fire, shouldn't be chief of the fire department properly, to purchase 2 LifePak 35 cardiac monitors for the fire department from Stryker Sales LLC and declaring an emergency. Looking for a motion to waive the 3 readings.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Eric and Sue. Any discussion? Questions for the chief on that? Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
Ms. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
You're now looking for a motion to declare an emergency and to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Simmons and Mr. Fenstermaker with the second. Any discussion? Ms. Muscatello?
Ms. Grazia,
Yes.
Mr. Smolik,
Yes.
Ms. Simons,
Yes.
Mr. Ziegler,
Yes.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. On to council comments. Any council comments at this point? Done? Any continuing concerns?
Council President Smolik, I took the over on this meeting, so I'm going to filibuster for about 1.5 minutes, if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
I'm just teasing. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, looking for a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Second. Julie.
She did it like telepathically. We all
Oh,
knew.
yeah, we did.
What did you